Space. The final fucking frontier. These are the voyages of Mia Thomason, former corporate drone assigned to Hascam Heliocentric Lab 6, and now... hell. Lost in Space is a whole other show. Daisy, what time is it?
It is 4 a.m. ship time. Would you like a clock display?
No, I can't sleep with holograms lighting up the cabin.
You are having trouble sleeping?
Yes, I am having trouble sleeping.
Have you tried counting sheep?
Yes, that's the answer to all the existential crises I'm cycling through. Counting sheep. Bunking down in an alien spaceship, hiding from the bad guys. 1 sheep. Finding out the bad guys are humans. 2 sheep. Finding out the AI steering your ship is a 1,000-year-old plant with more processing power than Deep Red. 3 sheep. Finding out I'll never go home again. 4 sheep.
You are employing sarcasm. Would you like me to trade barbs with you to help pass the time?
No, Daisy. You can open a search. Ah, not so bright. Better, thank you. Wow, the resolution you can throw into these holograms is...
Thank you, Mia. I pride myself on my work. Run your hands through the images and input boxes to construct your search. You can search across all available networks or limit your search to Shipboard Network, Airy, Martel, Locklaw CityNet, or ArgusNet.
Which one's more likely to tell me the truth?
Shall I display each network terms of service for you to compare?
Locklaw. I know that name. Locklaw. Oh, it's on Casti, right? 3rd planet from the sun? It's one of those flying cities, right?
That is correct. After Abaddon and Dessa, the gas giant Casti is the 3rd planetary body orbiting Farlost's sun. Locklaw is the most populous and prosperous of the 5 cities anchored in geostationary orbits around the planet.
How are we picking up CityNet here?
Locklaw CityNet is currently available in 61% Farlost via Whispers, including our current location, decelerating on approach to...
Wait. Slow down, Daisy. What's Whispers?
Whispers, the Wide Intelligence Stealth Platform Repeater System, is operated and maintained by a collection of ships, habitats, and states located throughout Farlost. Whispers expands the range of encrypted two-way network traffic to any network which offers the service, in order to connect remote and hidden populations with a stable information architecture. Whispers Charter signatories agree to maintain a number of stealth mode communications platforms within their territories or a predetermined segment of undeclared space in exchange for free access to the service.
Pirate radio, huh? Cool. Hold on, this Whispers thing carries ArgusNet? That's the System Guard network.
System Guard has been a signatory of Whispers since its inception in 2215.
I thought everybody hated the Guard.
Your assumption is correct. The System Guard has been denounced by the majority of independently governed populations in Farlost, and has been since the Guard's 2nd attempt to invade the Winter Belt in 2223.
Why are they a signatory of this Whispers thing, then?
Accessing. The System Guard officially opened ArgusNet to Whispers to facilitate data exchange with Airy and Martel networks. The Guard first used Whispers to coordinate and time assaults during their 2219 campaign on planet Casti, which resulted in the destruction of the Sky Roads. This event is universally regarded by historians as the turning point in Resistance efforts to remove dragons from control of the Sky Cities.
So... why does Whispers only cover 2/3 of Farlost?
The System Guard has been denounced by a majority of populations in Farlost since the Guard's 2nd attempt to invade the Winter Belt in 2223. In response, Whispers member states voted to restrict System Guard access to the service at that time.
Well, from the way they're trying to hunt us down, I'm guessing they didn't take it too well.
You have guessed correctly. In response to the data restrictions, the System Guard instituted a policy of seeking and destroying all concealed Whispers platforms and corridors of space under their control.
Right. And if you can't join them, beat them. So why don't they just kick ArgusNet off Whispers altogether?
Despite unanimously agreeing to data sanctions, Whisper's charters requires members to carry all networks offering anonymized encrypted access to any network which offers the service in order to connect remote and hidden populations with stable information.
I get it. And why hasn't the System Guard pulled out?
A majority of political strategists theorize System Guard remains a Whisper signatory in order to disseminate propaganda and disinformation among the other signatories.
Right. Crazy like a fox?
Fox. Family Canidae. Genus Vulpes. I have copied all data records aboard HHL-6 into my database. Are you referring to the functional intelligence of the fox species, the popular English idiom, the now defunct cable news outlet?
I get the message. Stay away from ArgusNet. Is that the one you plants? Trees run?
ARI Network was established by my species, and much of its processing power is still provided by interface with dozens of my species elders. However, ARI sanctions sentience of every species to collect, verify, and curate data. ARINet's distributed, encrypted structure has been acknowledged as the most secure network in Farlost. Security note: as of 6.35 seconds ago, ARI Network Secure certification was renewed by the Grey Hat Collective. ARI has never failed a third-party security audit.
Nice PR spin, Daisy, and here I thought you were a Martel Network kind of girl.
When I agreed to serve as crew and control intelligence aboard the Betty McKenna, I rendered my voice feminine at the suggestion of Captain Travis and Engineer Gruber. However, my species does not identify male and female physiologies, although some younger trees do adopt mannerisms and imitative structures of one sex or the other for a variety of reasons, including professional sex work and
Whoa, geez, Daisy. I'm still wrapping my head around being here and being around real aliens. I don't need you adding being with aliens to my nightmare playlist. Not quite yet.
Apologies, Mia Thomason. In answer to your query as to my network preferences, which I categorized as a tease, allow me to retort. Don't knock it until you try it.
Okay. The living computer has a sense of humor. Not a great sense of humor.
To answer your query seriously, I offer no preference between ARI, Martel, or Locklaw CityNet. I have observed all three offer valuable and reliable data. As Captain Travis is fond of saying, nothing wrong with a little healthy competition. Or as Engineer Gruber says, the best thing about a three-way is knowing someone's eventually going to pull your...
Stop. Just stop. Let's go with ARINet. Search. Arrivals. Humans. Winterbelt.
270 million results match your query.
5 known human arrivals in Farlost. X1, Betty McKenna, Brightspear, Zeus, HHL-6. You think we'll ever stop trying to break faster then with all the ships that try it disappearing forever? Oh, don't answer that, Daisy. My species is either titanically stubborn or stupid. Depends on the day. We're also resilient as hell. Are these numbers right? Humans outnumber all other species in Farlost?
Humans account for a slim majority of the system's population in all documented demographic studies. The top 3 population centers for your species being the Winterbelt, Locklaw, and System Guard ships and holdings.
Welcome to Farlost. You're part of the human race, the most feared race of warmongers since the dragons. Also, apparently you breed faster than space rabbits. Redbeard. Who's Redbeard?
Little concrete biographical information is available about the subject Redbeard, designated pirate by the System Guard and neutral combatant by a majority of independent states. Also recognized as Hero of the Belt in many Winterbelt communities and by Locklaw Sky City.
This guy calls himself a space pirate? A space pirate.
Redbeard is recognized as the strategist responsible for defeating 3 documented System Guard campaigns to pacify and control the Winter Belt. Numerous military historians have lauded his guerrilla tactics, based largely on complex models of asteroid orbital mechanics. Anecdotal evidence exists that his strategies are now taught to officer candidates on Academy Rock, though he is not officially recognized by the System Guard.
2 weeks ago, I was serving out a tour on a corporate lab to buy a condo. Now I'm on an alien spaceship, running away from the last bunch of humans to arrive who turned into space Nazis.
Nobody on board this ship equates humanity with the System Guard, nor with German nationals, nor with fascism.
No, one of my kind just founded it, and used it to defeat the bad guys.
And became worse bad guys themselves, according to a majority of military historians, an opinion I share.
I don't need any convincing. A Farlost education, I do need. So, how long has Redbeard been playing Robin Hood and Che Guevara in this asteroid belt?
The first documented sightings of Redbeard occurred 14 months after the Betty McKenna arrived in Farlost. Historians remain split on whether that was sufficient time for Redbeard to amass the fighting force, which went on to rout the Dragon-controlled mining operations in the Winter Belt. Some theorize Redbeard may have been one of the 5 crew members of the first human craft to arrive in Farlost 103 years earlier.
Holy hell. He's a badass wherever he came from. Any footage of him?
There is one verified video of Redbeard on file.
Play it.
When humans were still learning about fire, the trees arrived in Farlost. Very luckily, trees were one of the few arrivals unnoticed by the lizards who used to run this place. A good thing. Otherwise, the history of this hellhole of a system would look very different. If you've ever met a mature tree, well, they're a lot more cautious than their wandering children. They didn't advertise their presence. No calls for help. Nothing. They had reason to stay cautious, to stay silent. What with the dragons slaughtering their own kind, seeking out and destroying any ship they came across. They could have stayed hidden, but they didn't. They vowed to help if they could. Because that's what good people do when terrible things happen. They help, even if it costs them. The trees explored Farlost, left sensors and satellites hidden, dormant, throughout the solar system. Even after the dragons caught some of them, did the sort of unspeakable things dragons liked to do. The trees kept exploring, kept preparing. Even now the dragon had their scent, and were hunting them. When the manta and the hide arrived, the trees didn't hesitate. They screamed their warning on all frequencies, and it worked. The manta hide arrival craft burned for the Winter Belt, disappeared safe and sound between the rocks, avoiding capture completely. The dragons, territorial bastards that they were, put all their clan wars on hold and joined forces to tear the belt apart and find them. Manta, hide, trees, all of them. Some were found. The lucky ones died. The rest were enslaved, or worse. And the trees, and the manta now, and the hide along with them, kept resisting, kept sacrificing, kept saving lives. That's the real call of civilization. Good people took me in, and so many others, and got us to the Winter Belt. Good people risked their survival to save others from becoming slaves of the dragons. Jerd, Skanen, Shroud, Ghosties, Link, on and on, so many races. As allies, they all worked together to save more lives, in the face of millions of dragons' unshakable instincts to territorial domination, their cruelty and their bloodlust. The Shifters didn't need any help, of course. Neither did the Furies. Even they could only bloody the dragons' noses, then run off to do who the hell knows what. More arrivals came, and every other race to arrive in Farlost made a sacrifice. alien pilots flying right under dragon claws to save sentience they'd never met, speaking languages they hadn't learned yet. That's civilized.
Holy hell. How do those ships move like that without turning their pilots into paste?
Imagine how the pilots of the mining ships in Betty McKenna's bays must have felt. Half out of their minds is how. In Sol Systems asteroid belt 1 minute, staring at living, breathing dragons tearing their friends from the cockpits of their ships the next.
Oh, that dragon just... Oh, God, the vacuum. Oh, he's bleeding from his eyes. Oh, God. Oh, one gulp. The dragon ate him in one gulp.
With the help of the other races, the Betty's mining craft pilots held their courage. So many of their fellow pilots avoided violent death, or short, brutal lives enslaved in Casti cities or mines. That's when things in the belt started to change. There's strength in numbers. Boy, can humans rack up their numbers.
I've never seen so many ships outside a video game. That's more attack than rescue.
When the next arrival came, humanity jumped to the newcomer's rescue faster than any other species.
That's a bright spear.
So many more would have been lost to the dragons if Captain Shi hadn't stayed at her post and triggered the self-destruct.
Oh, no.
Incinerating half the dragon forces, preventing them from scooping up the survivors.
Oh, this is brutal. I can't watch this.
Terminating playback.
No, let it run.
You're watching the true call of civilization. Being willing to put your own life on the line for strangers, for otherness, for the right of a million beings to choose what's right for them. Every arrival breaks up the pattern, gives civilization another chance to break free of their oppressors. At first, that was the dragons. But now, I'm not a politician. I don't care if this makes you feel warm and fuzzy. If you've got sense to listen, great. I'll help anyone who helps themselves. Otherwise, I'm recording this for only one set of eyes. This is for you, Hallis Robeson. This is Redbeard, telling you to stay the hell out of my belt. You've invaded 3 times. Call it whatever you want. We know what your guard is really after. You're not coming here to answer the call of civilization. You're not trying to civilize Farlost. After all the years the dragons gnawed us to the bone. Oh, you can tell yourself that's what you're doing, but it's not. You didn't break the dragon's hold on the system because you're civilized. You did it because you're just like them. You did it to prove your power, didn't you? You did it to send a message to all of Farlost saying, the system guard is in charge now. Well, not in my belt. If any of you listening think you can let the system guard defend you from the last of the dragons, or any of the other looters and profiteers trying to take over their territory, you're lying to yourselves. Attached to this transmission are hundreds of recordings of what the system guard does to peaceful sentients who let them dock, let them land, let them in the door. Your guard slaughtered so many of us who couldn't believe the stories they'd heard. Your guard is a virus, Robeson, and every time you broadcast in your computer-prettified face and fancy clothes, promising to return civilization and security to Farlost, I see you for who you really are. I know what you want. You crave control, just as instinctively as any scaly monster ever did. You think you deserve to rule us, just like the dragons did. Check those files attached to this tight beam, people. Look hard. They're not doctored. Those really are system guard soldiers knocking down doors that won't open for them. Bombarding asteroids that won't let them dock. Spacing humans and tumblers and Jerd to break the will of anyone who resists them.
I can't get over tumblers. Look at them. Giant bird's nests with tentacles sticking out everywhere. Are they all as goofy as Newark? Honestly, I had a dog that didn't jump up and goof around as much as he likes to. A blinking light, that means airlock, right? Oh God. Oh no. All of them.
Watch and learn, people. These atrocities, this is what the Guard is. I don't really care what you believe. You fancy-dressed, important leaders can do what you want. The rest of you, the ones who can see the truth, Get here. Get to the belt. In anything that can hold an atmosphere and generate thrust. You will be welcome. We will help you the very best we can. It's a hard life, I won't lie. But we're free here in the belt. We've beaten back the guard dogs 3 times in a row. And that's why they're making you pretty promises of alliances now. Sign the System Guard Treaty, State. Give us your non-renewable resources, your ships, your self-determination, and we'll protect you from pirates like the dreaded Redbeard. They won't protect you. They'll use you. They'll take everything you have and throw it at us. And if you're the poorest of the poor, they'll throw you at us, too. Cannon fodder. That's all any of you treaty states are to the Guard. Watch the videos. Watch and learn. Encrypt and embed and share the files. There's links showing how to do it in this data packet. Show it to everyone you know. Make them watch. Make them read. Make them understand. Save yourselves. The belt is waiting for you.
Your life signs indicate distress, Mia. Do you require assistance?
That's what we're headed for? To hide in cracks on rocks in a maze of bigger rocks? That's my life now?
HHL-6, the vessel you served on, the one the Betty McKenna is now fused with, was much smaller than any asteroid settlement on record. There are no planetary environments in this solar system that can sustain your species. Given these facts, please explain why living in a pressurized settlement many times larger than your previous craft bothers you.
Because I'm never going to see Earth again. That's what all this means, isn't it? There's no going home?
No, Mia. Farlost is your home now. Would you like to initiate another search?
Were you born here?
Yes, Mia.
So you don't know anything else? You haven't lost your home?
That is an incorrect assumption. I had a different home before dedicating myself, with Captain Travis and Engineer Gruber, to freeing the Betty McKenna.
You weren't, grown on the Betty? I mean, I didn't think mature trees could move once they have settled down.
It is not impossible. However, transplant of a mature tree is a great shock, involving the loss of generations of root structures and pod chambers. Few trees attempt it. Fewer trees survive it.
Pod chambers. Right, all the little trees that walk around come out of the mama trees.
If you recall from your earlier query, trees do not come in genders.
Okay, but the human-shaped one that works on the bridge with Captain Travis, he's yours, right? Your kid? All right. Tell me about freeing the Betty from the dragons, then. How did that happen?
I will not process either query.
Oh, I forgot. You're a computer with attitude.
I am not a computer, Mia Thomason. I am a living being, the progenitor of a society. Nutrient bringer, lesson teacher, arbiter.
At least tell me why Salix is the only little tree walking around on the Betty. Don't mature trees make hundreds or thousands of copies? Where did they
Captain Travis taught me the lesson. Civilization requires sacrifice.
Daisy, where are the rest of your children? Didn't they make it out when you stole the Betty? Daisy, they're not... Did they all...
It is late, Mia Thomason. Perhaps you have submitted enough search queries for today.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Daisy. I'm sorry.
Good night, Mia. Sleep well.
Yeah. One sheep. 2 sheep. 3 sheep. 4 sheep.